Hello, welcome to Not So Awesome Review, and today we're looking at the Power Rangers in Space Psycho Ranger 5-pack. This is an Amazon exclusive, and yeah, I'm actually really excited about this because we have the full Psycho team. It kind of feels like we have them all in one go, but I mean, we did get Red from that 2-pack with Galaxy Red, which is weird, I mean, Space Ranger would have made sense, you know, I don't know, I felt like that when I got that. I don't think I did a review for it, but did I? I don't know. But yeah, that's, and the Psycho Blue was a GameStop exclusive. Got them. Got Psycho Green. I don't know if that review is up. That review is probably late. It was going to be up 2 days ago, but instead Omega Ranger went up. So Green will be up at some point, but these guys are definitely going first. But he will be in the mix during comparison times and everything, assuming he fits, because I mean, this is taking up a good wide angle of the screen. So anyways, the 5-pack here includes a good amount of stuff, so I don't know where to start. It's actually a little bit overwhelming, but we'll get through it. So we'll start with the accessories and then move on from there. So accessory wise, everybody comes with a lightning hand for the right hand. Same lightning hand we got with the Psycho Green, Red, and Blue from before, except for pink and yellow do have a slightly different hand. It's a little bit smaller and it has a different curve to it. Everybody has open hands, so they can hold their weapons in either hand, whichever they want, and they are all basically the same. Again, the girls' hands are smaller, so there is a difference there. And then we all have left fists over here, which again, girls' hands are smaller than the guy hands. Aside from that, not really any difference at all. So moving on with weapons, we're just going to run through really quick. Red comes with the same sword he came from before, exactly the same, nothing really different. Even paint wise, it looks basically the same, though it does come with a red lightning effect. Yeah, the last time it didn't come with an effect, it was the Galaxy Red Ranger. It came with the flaming sword effect, which is actually really cool. I put it on my Mighty Morphin Red Ranger instead, but it's a really cool effect. But yeah, standard lightning kind of thing that just goes over, nothing super fancy there. Blue Ranger comes with his axe. Again, same axe as before, no real difference. So now that those are out of the way, the Black Ranger does come with his lance, which actually looks pretty cool and has the Psycho Ranger symbol, which I'm sure means something different in the Sentai footage. I feel like it probably does, because it's like a sideways Z or an N or something, and kind of just weird that, yeah. Anyways, it does have the logo in the staff itself. It's just, you know, not painted or anything, but it's cool that it's there. The paint on the staff itself, silver, looks really good. The matted black looks good, nothing to complain about. And it is a soft rubber, so it is bendy, so, you know, if you store it somewhere and it gets bent, it's gonna need some water heat treatment or blow dryer heat treatment, whichever one you prefer. But anyways, the yellow Psycho Ranger does come with her blaster and a effect that I just could not figure out how to put on it because it has a slit and her weapon doesn't anyway. Psycho Pink comes with her bow and arrow, which the paint on it looks good. The pink on it is actually really nice. The Psycho symbol is on it and it looks good on it. It's like silver. It stands out. The silver on the ends actually looks really good. And the back string part, which isn't a string, it's more rubbery, it does pull back. Definitely don't want to do it too much because you don't want to break that, but it is cool that it's even there, so I like that. And it does come with the arrow effect that is the same one that came with Ranger Slayer, so again, a reuse effect, but I mean, it's a bow and arrow. I can't really expect anything different. Anyways, moving on to paint apps for all 5 figures. I'll just say right now, body-wise, from what I've seen, looks good. There's maybe some minor issues here and there, maybe a little bit of paint splatter, like on the gauntlet thingy on pink, just, you know, like really, really minor things. But other than that, the silver on it is good, the matte black on it looks good, and the colors look good. The red on Psycho Red is red and a little bit of glossy on the vesting, which all their vests have a semi-gloss to them. It's not like fully shiny like the helmets, but it is there. You know, it might be, I don't know, looking at it from like different lights, it looks different. So right now it looks a lot more glossy than it did when I was looking at it under my regular, just, you know, bedroom light or whatever. Under these lights, they do look a little bit more glossy, which is a difference between the originals. They have a matted thing, and we will be doing a comparison of those pretty soon here. So yeah, there is differences. Again, paint wise looks good. Helmet wise, they could be a little bit better. Some of them have issues. Psycho Black, I think, might have been the cleanest one, even with the the mouth and everything, because my pink has a little bit of black coming through, and that's paint chipping from the silver. It looks like blue has something going on there. Red, he has some like overspray or like a buildup of paint near the center of his helmet. Yellow looks pretty good. Can't really complain about that. Though in the show, because I was watching it earlier today, yellow looked a little bit more gold to me. And I was thinking that when I was looking at the figure, I was like, yeah, yellow on the show is definitely has like a little bit of a gold tint to her, which I think would have looked good. But the yellow on this one, again, because it's glossy, even the parts that aren't glossy, that are just like a little bit more matted, it looks good. It's not that ugly toy yellow. So that's a cool thing. And you might notice here, black does have a gold collar while everybody else has white. I don't remember if that's like on the show, but I'm sure it is if it's on here. It's on the packaging too. So I'm going to assume that's right. So again, paint apps on it, you know, here and there, little issues, but for the most part, looks good. So to speed things up here for the articulation, we're just going to look at one Ranger each, considering they all share the same body. Pink and yellow share the same, and then the other three share the same. So because you've probably already seen red and blue, we're going to do black and yellow. So let's just move things aside and do the articulation. So looking at the articulation for Psycho Black, again, it's going to be the same for red, blue, and if you have the other red, blue, and green, and yeah, same body, same everything. So can't really look up, can look down a pretty good amount, can look left, right, no real pivot there. Arm can go about straight out, maybe a little bit more, somewhere around there. Yeah, not too much. I swear it just went up a little bit more, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's it. Yeah, there we go. Rotation all the way around because this is rubber. Upper arm rotation, double jointed elbows that do really good. The hinge at the wrist right there. Can't really move too much back because of the thing, but I mean, if you move it that way, then I guess, but then it looks broken. Anyways, rotation, diaphragm joint goes all the way around, does really good, goes back and forward, not too much, but when you add that crunch, it's just amazing, and I actually really like that. That's still my favorite thing about these figures. Anyways, legs go out that far, can't really kick back, kicks forward that far, has the double jointed knee that goes all the way, and then ankle can't really move forward, can move back a pretty good amount, and it does have that ankle pivot and boot rotation and upper thigh rotation for all of the rotation needs. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Again, same articulation as the rest of the Psycho Rangers, and I will say, you know, after watching this show, the neck should just be slightly higher, just slightly higher. The vest does or the collar thing does get in the way when looking at it in the show, but they definitely have a little bit of a neck, you know, separation right there. Not too much, but yeah, it's definitely sitting just a little bit low. I can't talk right now, it's late. But it doesn't look bad. Doesn't really look off, I'll say. But again, it could be just a tiny bit higher, and I feel like that's what they're struggling with. For the most part, is like the neck size, and for some reason, I think some of the helmets looked a little bit off, but yeah, again, same articulation for red and blue. So let's move on to yellow. So looking at yellow here, again, we have a slimmer body, and we're just going to look at it a little bit more because it is slightly different than the other ones. Everything's like toned down a little bit. It doesn't have the double jointed elbow, which sucks. I don't know why. But anyways, let's get into this. Can't really look up. Again, it's really the collar that gets in the way on all of these that they can't look up. Can look down a good amount, left and right, and all the way around in case you're wondering. And a slight tilt, not too much, a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, enough that it's noticeable. Arms, let's see. Can go up that high, which is a little bit higher, I think, than the guys. Maybe not. It's kind of hard to tell. Again, I think I mentioned this, or maybe I didn't. It feels like sometimes the, I don't know, now that I'm looking at it, the arms look fine. Earlier, it felt like the arm wanted to stay up there, but now I think I just loosened it up. Yeah, it wants to come back down, so that's good. It's a little bit loose, and I'm not really a fan of that, but at least it goes down all the way now. So, anyways, rotation all the way around, upper arm rotation. Again, single jointed elbow, which doesn't even do 90, and that's actually really disappointing. Is it that way? Yeah. She does have that rotation at the elbow, so there's that, I guess. I mean, I guess that's 90. I wish it just a little bit more. Anyways, rotation at the wrist, hinge at the wrist, diaphragm joint that goes back, but it's weird because there's like this gap right here, and you can actually see the joint where it plugs in right there, and it's not nice. You can lean forward, no real gap there, but you can kind of see the joint right there a little bit. You can lean to the left, looks a little bit off. You can lean to the right, looks a little bit off. And actually, that was right and left. I know the ways I'm looking, it's just I'm looking at it through the camera, so yeah. Anyways, rotation and everything. I mean, she has all of the articulation, but it just looks, it really does look off. It does not look good. I feel like the vest part up here should have came down more, or they should have raised this a little bit more, because yeah, the gappage and stuff, not great. And again, if you lean too far back, you can definitely see the joint thing there. So a little disappointing in that end, but I mean, at least we got the figure, so that's something. And she is definitely, there we go, I'm gonna say frozen because she did not want to move, but got front and back. So front about that much when you add the diaphragm joint. Yeah, she's definitely stiff. You can hear that. There we go. That's a lot better. That's a lot more forward. And that's definitely a good ways back. So I can't complain too much, but again, the gappage, it's not pretty. And I am spending more time on this because it is a different body mold, but yeah, again, I mean, let's take a look at pink just to see, you know, live right here. Yeah, same thing. Gappage right there, maybe not as much, but probably it is. Is she frozen too? I'm just, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, again, not a huge fan of that. I feel like the vest definitely should have came down just a little bit more. Anyways, legs can go almost all the way out. Not exactly, but a lot better than the guys. Can't kick back. Can kick forward really good. I like that. Especially if you lean her back just a little bit. It's a pretty good high kick. So that's pretty cool. Upper thigh rotation. Double jointed knees. That aren't as good as the guys again, but it's decent. And can do forward one, back all the way, which is great. I wish I could do forward a little bit more, but it's fine. And the ankle pivot, which again is fine. It's alright. I mean, it's got the articulation. I'm sure you can pose it where you can't really see the gap and everything if you know, mess around with it enough. But it is kind of annoying. Again, the vest should have definitely gone down a little bit more. I don't know what happened to my voice right there. This is going to be a weird review. It's a not so awesome review. Just, I mean, it's in the names. I apologize. But I mean, you knew what you were getting yourself into when you clicked on it. It's not bad. The articulation is decent enough to get into some really good poses. It just looks wonky if you're not going to do it right. So, definitely look out on that. But is it a bad figure? No. Is it like crazy, good, amazing? I mean, not really. I think Ranger Slayer might actually be my favorite articulated figure from the Power Rangers line, though Yellow does some really good stuff. So yeah, Ranger Slayer and Yellow definitely probably my top two on this. These ones just under it, maybe. We don't have that many female Rangers, even if it's a villain, so it's something. I'm glad we got it. I hope we get more. Anyways, let's move on to some size comparisons, which is going to be very interesting to do. Okay, I lied. So we're actually going to be doing the figure comparison really quick because it makes more sense. Anyways, Psycho Red on the right and Psycho Blue on the right are both from the 5-pack. Left is from the original releases, and you can see, hopefully, anyways, that there is some slight differences, but not anything major. For the most part, again, same exact body mold, same exact helmet mold. Weapons are exactly the same, even if he's not holding his right now. One way to help you guys keep it apart, you know, originals have the weapons in their hands, the new ones don't. But yeah, the gold on Red, his belt is slightly different, though the gold on Blue is the same. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I don't know why that's so interesting, but I mean, kind of is. Anyways, the silver on it's pretty much the same. The biggest difference here, like I mentioned earlier, is the glossy vest on him and the not so glossy vest on him. The red on it is still a little bit shiny. It still has a little bit of a semi-gloss going on. This has definitely a more gloss, more shine. You can definitely see it. Maybe if I change this out right there. Actually, that's just making it look like the other one is more shiny. So let's just move that back. But yeah, maybe, I think on camera, at least through the viewfinder right here, the one on the right, the red definitely stands out a lot more than the one on the left. The helmet looks a lot better on the right, color-wise. The red is more bright, it looks nicer, so those are the differences with red. And one of the big differences, in case you can't tell them apart, you mix them up or something, and you're like, oh no, I don't know which one is which, even though, like I said, the vests are there. On the bottom, he has white on his left boot, and he doesn't. It's a different serial number. They both had the same serial number for the figure on the bottom from what I saw, but yeah, it's got the white on the bottom of the boots, and it's the same thing with Psycho Blue. Original release has that white serial number, new one doesn't. And again, differences here: gloss, matted. The blue on him is actually more matted than the red on the other one. The helmets, the one on the right I think is a little bit darker than the one on the left. I think I prefer the new one over the old one, even if it has a little bit of black coming through the silver on there. And like I said, the gold on their belt match pretty much the same. It's just the other one that doesn't match, or it might actually be the other red that doesn't match. I don't know, something is off there. Something is definitely weird. It might be the 5-pack that actually is the odd man out here, or maybe it's just the positioning of where I have them. I don't know, but other than that, you know, same bodies, same everything, so not too different, not exactly the same, I guess you could say, but I don't know, it still annoys me that we're getting a 5-pack with two figures. We already got one, which was a 2-pack, but anyways, that's your comparison. Moving on. So just a quick comparison with a couple of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Red and blue are definitely taller than all of them. Kind of weird. I think I mentioned this in the Green Ranger review. But yeah, for some reason, red Mighty Morphin and blue Mighty Morphin are taller, which to me just seems off. I feel like these being bad guys should definitely be a little bit bigger. Other than that, not bad. I mean, they're definitely in scale with each other more or less. Again, maybe not, because I feel like they should be taller. But let's move on. So here he is next to Galaxy Red, which I know we've already kind of done this comparison with the first, 2-pack and everything. But yeah, he is definitely taller than the other one. I don't know what's up with his arm right now. I just made sure that he could stand. But yeah, looks kind of weird again. I feel like they all should be the same height at least. But anyways, there you go. So for your female Ranger comparison, here she is next to Ranger Slayer. And Ranger Slayer is actually a bit shorter, which I like. This size difference, I'm good with. I like it. I like that Psycho Pink and Yellow are slightly taller than Mighty Morphin Pink. Same more or less thing, but it's Ranger Slayer. Yeah, it's definitely a better comparison than the Mighty Morphin Red and Galaxy Red. I feel like they're too tall. This looks right. I like it. Anyways, moving on. So here are a few figures from a few different lines. Shredder, which you can't really see. Spawn, Jordan from the SH Figure Art line. The Marvel Legends Spider-Man, and the G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes. And I want to say everybody is shorter Snake Eyes. I don't know. When I did the comparison with Psycho Green, he seemed shorter there. But to me, right now, he looks like he's just a hair taller than everybody else. Spider-Man definitely looks like he's a little bit taller. He's leaning a little bit forward too, so that doesn't help. Again, they just seem a little bit short. I don't know. I don't know why, to me, Green seemed more or less the same height to Spider-Man. Maybe I was just off that day when I did it. I might even reshoot that entire review. Who knows? But yeah, so you guys can see Spawn definitely towering over everybody because he's McFarlane line, and he just stayed there a little bit bigger. Shredder actually fits in pretty good if you ask me. Spawn, being Spawn, I think it looks fine. And yeah, so just there you go, little comparison with some other figures. And lastly, here we have the team with Psycho Green. And if you haven't read the Power Rangers Psychopath graphic novel, I definitely recommend it, especially if you want like kind of a character development story for the Psycho Rangers, if you want a backstory for Psycho Green and a little bit of character development for him and for Corone and everything. It's actually really good in that sense. If you're a fan of Power Rangers in Space, you're definitely going to like it. If you're a fan of Psycho Rangers, it gives you a little bit of a new perspective on them, and I'm hoping there's a sequel. Not gonna lie, I hope that there's more of that series. I liked it, and again, it gives you so much more on the Psycho Rangers. I'm not going to spoil it here, but it's definitely something I would recommend reading. Anyways, yeah, the green looks good with them. I think, this being pretty much the full Psycho Ranger team is really cool, though it would be cool to have Silver in front again. That is just like Silver Ranger in disguise. It would still be pretty cool to have him kind of just up there, maybe have green in front and silver next to red. Either way, I think that would be a great addition, and I hope that they decide to make him, considering Bandai made him, would be nice. So overall, not a bad set at all. Again, I mean, you're getting the same reused figures 3 times plus 2 other times for other ones, but it's cool. It's nice to have the entire thing. Also, before anybody calls me out in the comments, yeah, I kind of figured this one out a little bit, so I guess that's cool. I just assumed that it would go for the other Yellow Ranger, because it's yellow. I don't know. It was right next to her, though I guess it was right next to him too. Does it show it in the back of the box? No, it doesn't. So in my defense, I had no proof because there's no manual, but there you go. Again, pretty good. Getting them to stand on this surface wasn't the easiest thing, but I'm kind of happy with how this pose kind of turned out. I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, one other thing I want to mention is that it almost looks like Psycho Yellow has a trigger finger, but she doesn't, because it's attached to the rest of her hand, which kind of sucks, because obviously she's, has the blaster. It would have made sense for her to have a trigger finger. And Psycho Pink's bow does have a little clip on it for the effect, though getting it on there is not the easiest thing at all. It's barely balanced in there as it is right now. As much as I like the bow, it's definitely one of the harder things to pose with, so just gonna put that out there. Other than that, not really much else to say. I think the set is really cool. You add in green and it's pretty complete, so I'm happy with it. I do hope we get a set of Space Rangers, red, yellow, black, pink, pretty much the same colors as these guys. I really hope we get them pretty soon. I at least start, releasing one of them, because we need Space Rangers to fight Psycho Rangers, because that's just how it goes. I understand the Galaxy Rangers fought them, and I get that that's why they gave us Galaxy Red with the other red and 2-pack, but it makes no sense. I don't understand why you would do that and not do Space Red instead, unless they're going to release them with their Galaxy Gliders, in which case that would have been good. And my only other critique here is for the price. I know we're getting a lot of weapons, we're getting the same accessories a lot, but I mean, we could have gotten extra heads. The Psychopath, the graphic novel, does show, the faces of all of them. The show, had the faces of 3 of them. I think it was pink, black, and red. But yeah, it would have been nice to have alternate heads for them. I know they're never really helmetless, I think, even in the comic book or graphic novel or whatever, but it still would have been nice, to kind of get something like that. A pair of fists, not just, left fist. I think every figure, again, Power Ranger-wise, should have a pair of fists, regardless. I didn't mention that in my Omega review because I completely forgot, but he doesn't have a pair of fists. I don't think he even has a single fist, which is annoying. Again, every Power Ranger figure should come with a pair of fists. They fight, they punch, that's what they do. So it would have been nice to include that. And there's really nothing else they could have done. I think they did a pretty good job. The female bodies could be better. Again, that gappage and everything is not the prettiest at all, but they do articulate pretty good. They do move good enough. Again, the males look good, and I do like that we did get a little bit of a gloss and a little bit of, differentiation from I can't say the word, but they're definitely a little bit different from the other ones. Though again, my Red Ranger or my Red Psycho Ranger helmet, definitely paint issues, which sucks because my other Red Psycho Ranger has paint issues on the helmet, so can't even really head swap to fix it. So yeah, that's pretty much how that goes. But anyways, this has been a long review. I still gotta take a whole bunch of pictures. It's gonna take forever to edit, so this might be up later than I actually intended to. I'm recording this Wednesday night. It's Thursday, I guess. Technically, it's after midnight. So, might be up Thursday, might be up Friday. Don't know yet. Again, a lot of pictures need to be taken here. But, yeah. Anyways, that is my review for the Psycho 5-pack from Amazon. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.